Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host, Jake Sheff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there. Hope you're rocking the green as I am right now and showing your Irish pride throughout the day. Our top story from this past weekend, the Orchard Lake St. Mary's semifinals highlights. In a very hard-fought battle at the Breslin Center, the Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets' quest to defend their Division I state championship came to an end. They faced the East Lansing Trojans in the MHSAA 2025 state semifinals, where the Trojans secured a 51-44 victory, and advancing them to their first state final since 1958. Big congratulations to them. And here's a closer look at the game's highlights and more.
Here in East Lansing inside the Breslin Center, where anticipation has been building for the matchup between the Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets and the East Lansing Trojans for the 2025 MHSAA state semifinal game. Now, these two teams are familiar with each other as they did go up against each other during the regular season, with East Lansing walking away with the victory. So this is a very important rematch game for the Eaglets. We actually had a moment to sit and speak with some St. Mary's supporters to find out exactly how important this game is.
Well, we've been with these boys for 4 years, and last year was a phenomenal opportunity, and they won the state championships. And as we know, it's hard to go back-to-back, but they are bringing the fire, and we have the utmost faith that they're going to bring it all home today. Woo!
It's been humbling as well as exciting. I'm so proud of our boys. They've been working hard on the court and off the court. All season long, their motto has been never stop, never quit, never giving up. And that's what they've been proving every week.
We are so excited. I drove in from Chicago, and we are so happy to support Orchard Lake and Trey McKinney. So we're happy to be here.
In an unusual fashion, the game started with Orchard Lake's Trey McKinney shooting free throws, hitting 1 of 2. After a few missed shots from both teams, the first official points of gameplay came from Eaglets senior forward Jaden Savory. It was then followed up by senior guard Sherrod Barnes with a mid-range jumper. The game was in favor of St. Mary's as Trey McKinney came up with an offensive rebound and a smooth lay-in. The Eaglets continued to stay hot with a tough shot and one from Jaden Savory as he sinks his shot from the line. East Lansing eventually found a few points on the floor in retaliation to the Eaglets, but Orchard Lake remained on top at the end of the first, 15-9.
And that was just a taste of what that game was like. You can check out the full version of that package on our website, civiccentertv.com, to see the full highlights from that very exciting game. Despite the Eaglets' best efforts, their season concludes with a very commendable record and the pride of a strong title defense. We'll continue to follow the journey of Orchard Lake and bring you updates on their future. They should be very, very proud on the season of basketball they have played this year. In that closely contested MHSAA Division I semifinal at the Breslin Center, The Orchard Lake St. Mary's head coach Todd Covert shared his thoughts on the game and reflected on the team's journey this season. Let's hear from Coach Covert.
Kevin McIntosh, Civic Center TV in East Lansing inside the Breslin Center. I'm here with Orchard Lake St. Mary's head coach Todd Covert, just talking about the game tonight. Just from your perspective, Coach, just give us a recap of the game.
Yeah, it was a back and forth game, and we had a bad stretch there in the first half, and I thought we fought. It was our shots didn't go tonight. I think that at the end of the day, and that was probably that was really the main reason. I told Coach Creighton, I said, if we would have held them to whatever it was for the last couple of plays, 46, 47 points, I thought we'd be in a pretty good spot to win. But we didn't. A lot of credit goes to them. But I just said there, it doesn't take away what these seniors accomplished, which is, it's really historic. I mean, 3 Final Fours in a row, 4 quarterfinals in a row, Mr. Basketball, and these guys really set a standard at St. Mary's that even raised the bar even higher, and that's it's pretty hard to do there. So
I understood that. Now, what were some good things that you saw from tonight's game you feel like you can build on for next season?
Yeah, I thought we had a lot of fight. We had a lot of fight, and that's the effort. They weren't going to go down easy. So that's. When you see that, that means you have the right culture and the right standards in your program, and thanks to those guys, that's why we do.
And although it did come to a bittersweet ending, Coach, what do you feel like made this season overall so special?
I just said that while obviously we wanted to win the state championship, and we played in some big games and big environments, and we played IMG over at Oakland University and sold that place out. And, we wanted to show that high school basketball in Michigan is as good as anywhere, right? They're one of the top teams in there. They were number 1 in the country at the time. And, we're up 11 with 4 or 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left. And, that just shows you there's a lot of great coaches and players and schools here in Michigan. And, hopefully, we gave really high school basketball in Michigan a little bit better of a posture in the country, and because we do.
And lastly, Coach, to the community that supported the team throughout the entire season, drove all the way to East Lansing, what message do you have to the Orchard Lake community?
We're grateful. We really are. It's we got a great community, and we got a great school that's been around 140 years, and we got a soul and a spirit about us that's special, and it'll always be special. So we got great people. That's what education and athletics brings, is a lot of great people together, and they bring them together for a long time. Like Coach K has been coaching here for 37 years, and good, the bad, the ugly, good years and bad years, and you couldn't do it without guys like him. And there's so many that play a part and that you don't see, and we're grateful.
And a great message to Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Orchard Lake community as well, as we're here in East Lansing. Orchard Lake St. Mary's walking away with an unfortunate loss to the East Lansing Trojan. But we'll continuously keep you updated with everything that Orchard Lake St. Mary's does throughout the offseason. Once again, here with head coach Todd Covert, Kevin McIntosh, Civic Center TV.
Despite the semifinal loss, Coach Covert's pride in his team's effort and achievements this season is evident. The Eaglets have showcased resilience and dedication, setting a high standards for future seasons. Congratulations again to the Eaglets for a great season. Thank you to Todd Covert for taking the time to talk with us. And a huge thank you to Kevin McIntosh from our team for all of his work last week in covering this exciting basketball season. He's been doing a lot of work, and he's done an incredible job in getting all of this coverage to us here on the Splash Live. And our very own Tyler Keefe was also at that last game, and he had a chance to talk with one of Orchard Lake's star players, Trey McKinney, and to hear his thoughts as his high school season comes to an end and he's taken the jump to the college level.
After a loss in the MHSAA state semifinals, it's the end of a long and storied career for a senior-laden St. Mary's team. For star Trey McKinney, it's the end of an all-time great run at O-Lake, including multiple appearances at finals weekend here in East Lansing, a state championship, multiple Catholic League titles, and being named Mr. Basketball. For McKinney, representing his hometowns of Flint and Orchard Lake is arguably what he cherishes most from his illustrious career with St. Mary's.
Just thank you for supporting me. Flint has welcomed me with open arms and Orchard Lake, so I'm just happy to, have lived in both cities, and Flint is a basketball city. A lot of good guys coming out of Orchard Lake.
For a guy who deserves a lot of credit for the success of St. Mary's over the last 4 years, McKinney credits his whole team for their victories, especially as he reflects on a championship career at St. Mary's.
We were all close-knit, and, we didn't care who was having an on night, and, we were just happy that the next man was succeeding every night. So that team was a very special team.
As humble as McKinney is, he doesn't take his impact on St. Mary's for granted, recognizing that he has, in fact, had a massive impact on the history of that storied basketball program.
A lot of good guys coming out of Orchard Lake, and me just being one of them, and, being the face of Orchard Lake has been a blessing.
McKinney's commitment and character matches that of all of his senior-led team at St. Mary's, something that has continued to keep Coach Todd Covert, a St. Mary's alum, beaming with pride and joy as both a coach and an Orchard Lake lifer.
Trey's a generational talent. I don't care what happened today, if we won or lost tomorrow. He's a generational kid, and, these two young men, along with our other seniors, that's how you set a culture, and that's how you get a standard at a school.
A 5-star recruit in the ESPN 100, McKinney now moves on to the University of Michigan. A new challenge he is more than ready to endure.
Just the opportunity, and Michigan being my dream school, and having a very, very good relationship with the coaches. I'm just ready to compete in the Big Ten, one of the best conferences in college basketball. So I'm just ready to compete, and I'm excited for the year.
4 years later, Trey McKinney's career at St. Mary's comes to a close at perhaps the only place he's had a bigger impact on St. Mary's basketball than in Orchard Lake itself. At the Breslin Center in East Lansing, I'm Tyler Kieft, Civic Center TV.
Appreciate Tyler for that package. The name Trey McKinney is going to go down in history books. This young star has a very bright future ahead of him. Can't wait to see what he's able to accomplish at the college level. Alongside all of the basketball excitement this past weekend, Orchard Lake St. Mary's was also set the stage for an exciting hockey matchup. As this past Saturday, the Michigan UCP Pucksters took on the Detroit Red Wings alumni team in a hard-fought hockey match, all to help raise money for cerebral palsy research. And the night also included a sled hockey match between the Bell Tire sled hockey program and the Michigan UCP Sledsters. Everybody had an amazing night, and I was there to capture every second of the action, and as well as hear from several attendees on why this night is so important.
It is an unbelievable feeling, and I love giving back to the community. That's why I'm doing this, and not just to that, but just also have a little fun too. And what I can see every time is something different, it's unique, and I really love it. Getting the fans hyped up and engaged, and just having a little bit of fun, and not something I get to do every day, so whenever I get to do this is a dream come true.
Oh, it's been great. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. This is our 25th year doing it, but 23rd actual event, and every year it gets bigger. Every year we're able to raise more money for United Cerebral Palsy, which is the main goal of all of this. So it's a great time to get everybody out here and raise some money for a great cause. Get to see a lot of the kids and adults that actually get benefited by United Cerebral Palsy and come out here and to watch the joy on their faces, to be able for them to meet some of the wings and be a part of that. It's just awesome to be able to bring a smile to their face and be able to help them out any way we can. I keep saying it over and over again, but this is one of my favorite events of the year.
What is it like to be lending your talents to such an event like this year after year, and to see the smiles on all the kids' faces?
I don't know if lending my talents, but maybe the kids like to see the hair and and us being out. I think that year after year, what you have is the camaraderie of getting to know some of these families and some of these players and people, and we're all in it together, right? So whether you're a Red Wing fan, a player, somebody that supports it, I look at cerebral palsy along the lines of autism. I think everybody knows somebody, whether you're affected in your immediate family or not, that is affected by this. So any way we can get together with something that we all love in the game of hockey, and at the end of the day, it's the patients and the people that need the help that can benefit. It's just a way to give back for all the people that have cheered and prayed and been along for a lot of success, but also too, a lot of us, as human beings in this town and stuff like this have gone through other things that have been supported. So this all just goes into the support system. It goes into the culture, what the Detroit Red Wings alumni is all about, and obviously the UCP is a huge one of the huge things that we support. We all have different, professional goals to accomplish, but the best part about this is the camaraderie and everybody coming together for a great cause. So that's why it's similar.
The score, win or lose, didn't matter. There was one moment where I saw 2 or 3 kids just going at it, and one of them scored, and it was just a great moment for them. And it's nice to see them excited about something, feel included with things. I know as a kid playing adaptive sports, it was kind of hard to find a group, but being able to trailblaze for other kids to have those communities to feel connected with is just such a cool thing. Seeing that, 10-year-old just super excited that he scored a goal, and it's just it doesn't have to be competitive. It can be fun sometime, and this is what it was today.
When everyone leaves here tonight, having had such a fun night, what do you hope they take away?
I hope they take away just the fact that this organization is such a good organization. It helps 2.3 million Michiganders alone. That's just in Michigan. So all over the country, they're helping millions and millions of people. So just the fact that there are organizations out there that are able to help people with the things that they need the support. They need the support because it takes money, it takes help from everybody. So that's my biggest thing is that, if you feel inspired, find somebody, and it doesn't have to be United Cerebral Palsy, any charity. You feel inspired and you want to go help, reach out to them, help out, and be a part of something good.
In case anyone was curious on those final scores, Michigan UCP ended up falling to both teams. Bell Tire defeated the Sledsters 4-2, and the Red Wings alumni defeated the Pucksters 9-6. But as they say on Whose Line Is It Anyway, the points don't matter. All that matters is that everyone had a fun night out and helped to provide a lot of hope and spirit to these kids. Plenty of other great stories to get into right after this break, including hearing about the local author fair that's going to be making its way right here to West Bloomfield. More on that right after this quick break. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free confidential counseling and win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
I'm Gina Gregory, president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. I'm excited that Civic Center TV has reached 1 million views on YouTube. Congratulations. That's just terrific. We appreciate everything Civic Center does for the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society and the community. For us, they promote and highlight our events. It's awesome to have them available 24/7 on YouTube. I'm Gina Gregory and proud to be 1 in a million.
back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. The West Bloomfield Library is getting ready for the local author fair. Readers of all ages are encouraged to drop by the library's meeting room and discover their next great read and get to know some of the writers of the area this Saturday, March 23rd. And here to tell us more about this great event coming here to West Bloomfield, we have community engagement librarian with the West Bloomfield Township Library, Emily Tobin, joining us right now in The Splash. Emily, good morning.
Good morning, Jake. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always love having you with us here on The Splash. Really interested in hearing about this year's author fair. What can you tell us about what we can expect?
So this is our second local author fair. We were very excited about last year's turnout. So we have 15 local authors coming this year. Last year we had 12. So we've invited three additional authors this year because it was very hard to choose. We had over 55 applicants from the Greater West Bloomfield area and some from outside the city as well. So there's something for everybody. We tried to get a good selection of both adult and youth titles. There's some teen titles as well. So it will be in the meeting room this Sunday from 1 to 4. And we encourage people to come out and see authors in their community.
Interesting. A wide variety of authors for every type of reader that there is. And I'd imagine narrowing it down to 50, it sounds like even narrowing it down to 15 was a very tough process. What do you look for in terms of finding the authors that you like to showcase at these events?
So we do give priority to people that live in West Bloomfield and the surrounding area. And then, a general good mix of people because we do want to get both the younger and the adult audiences, but things that, topics that would be relevant to people, topics that are going to engage a diverse audience. We do have some authors in our area that people may not know about that are best-selling authors. We have Jim Benton that lives in Bloomfield Hills. He will be joining us, and he has multiple youth and adult titles. And he's been a best-selling author for a while. He has a series called Catwad. He does a lot of graphic novels in youth, and he has a lot of adult graphic novels as well. And then we do have some returning authors, and I look for great quality. So this is a local author. She was with us last year. Her name is Carolyn Kerfoot, and she has a series of early readers, and her artwork is all hand drawn, and it looks very, very much like it was published by a professional publisher. So things that are very well done and that would appeal to everyone and that have a good storyline.
Awesome. Great to see some of those examples of what we can expect at the author fair. And what can attendees expect in terms of maybe some of the activities and interactions that they might have during this fair?
So all the authors will be present. I like this event because they actually get to engage with the person who's written the book and ask them questions about inspiration, where they got the idea for their book, how long they've been writing. For some of the authors, this is their first book. For some of the authors, they have multiple titles. They have the opportunity to have the author autograph their work and to just see the amount of talent that is in the community and to really give them kudos for the work that they're doing.
For those just joining us right now on The Splash, we have community engagement librarian Emily Tobin from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library joining us right now on The Splash to talk about the library's upcoming local author fair that's going to be taking place on Saturday, March 23rd. And you said that this is the second author fair that's taking place. You had one last year, pertaining to some of the returning authors. What have they said about what this author fair provided to them?
So it's hard to get your your work out there. It's hard to get noticed by publishers, and sometimes I think it's a thankless task. So it's an opportunity for them to see people on a larger scale. It's a bigger venue for them. It's for people that aren't. For people that aren't in this community, we do have some people that are coming from Detroit or some of the Farmington community to be able to come in front of our audience. It gets them more a diverse reader, so that's a benefit, and it gets their name out there. So as authors share other authors on their social media page, they get more publicity that way. So it's free marketing and a way to get their name out there.
That's absolutely right. Always a great opportunity to provide these authors with a chance to get to know the community and get to know some of those future readers. And the library does so many things to support these authors. How does the library support local authors in events beyond the author fair?
So we do try to gather titles from the authors to put them in to our collection. That's how I have some from last year. And then we also try to support by partnering with Schuler Books down the street in West Bloomfield to let local authors know that they have a way to actually publish their items. Schuler also has a local author section. It's hard to get started after you've done the creative process of writing a book. Hard to, wrap your head around getting it published when not everybody can afford an agent or an editor. And they do have a service where they'll publish your work for you to kind of get you started. So that's a nice service that not everybody knows about. So we can help them in that way.
Awesome. Always love hearing about these great resources to help these authors. And with the author fair coming back this year, after it was here last year, what have some of the residents and local community members had to say about this event and what it's meant to them?
I think that they're very excited to see authors again. We have somebody in our community that will be there. You may know Gina Gregory. She's part of the Historical Society. She's going to be part of our author fair this year, and I think that it's great to see somebody that is in our community and that presents on a greater scale in our building. She does a lot of lectures and presentations, but she will be there, talking about her work and the books that she has published and the research she has done. So I think it's a different opportunity for community members to see her in a different light. But I think the community members will be excited to see people that they don't realize. I see a lot of patrons in the building, and I don't realize until they submit an application that they have a book published. And I think that that's very exciting.
That's right. You always learn more about these people you see every single day coming by the library. You realize that maybe some of their books are in the library and you had no idea. So that's always really fun to see. Emily, I can't wait for this event. I have one more quick question for you before we let you go. How can the community further support local authors and the library's literary initiatives?
So I think this event is a good start. So to come out, even if it's just choosing one author to talk to engage. If you can't afford to support them by buying a book, to commit to maybe sharing this event on your own social media or putting out their name, that you saw them, that you were excited about them, to get them some good press, some good marketing, good feedback, and then to share the library's events on social media, to share the library's initiatives, to participate in summer reading, and share all the good work that the library is doing.
Well, all great things, and can't wait to see what's to come this weekend. Emily, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too as well. So many things to look forward to with the author fair coming up this weekend with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. And later this week, we might be having some of those authors stopping by the Splash to hear their thoughts of being a part of such an incredible event. Apple is investing $500 billion that will directly affect Metro Detroit businesses. The Apple Manufacturing Academy in Detroit aims to support small and medium-sized businesses in adopting AI and smart manufacturing technologies. Recently, we had Chad Ever, the owner of Ever Studios, on our program to hear his thoughts on what this could mean for Metro Detroit businesses. Here to provide his insight on everything is the owner of Ever Studios, Chad Ever, joining us right now on The Splash. Chad, great to see you.
Good to see you. How's everything going?
Everything's going great. Happy to be getting into this conversation. How do you see the Apple Manufacturing Academy impacting businesses in Greater West Bloomfield and the surrounding Detroit area?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first of all, it's awesome for them to be investing in our local communities. For a large company like that, it's huge. It really says a mark about the businesses that we have here and the impact that we're making. I honestly believe that there's going to be three really important things that happen from this. The impact is going to have competitiveness. That's going to be enhanced pretty significantly because you're either going to move forward or you're going to stay stagnant, right? So competition is going to be, it's going to be really crisp. There's going to be a lot of competition happening. And we're really looking forward to businesses taking the plunge and jumping into it. Also, workforce development, we're going to see a pretty significant impact there. These training programs, it's going to create a really nice pool of skilled workers that haven't existed yet, right? But they're ready to. They just don't know what that next step is. And it's going to be a great opportunity there. And of course, we're going to see some pretty significant economic growth. As we adopt these advanced technologies, new businesses will then be attracted to the area. Therefore, we're going to have some really good economic growth as well.
That's right. We're going to be seeing a lot of big effects, probably a lot sooner than we realize here in the Greater Detroit area as a result of this news. What role do you see AI and smart manufacturing play in modern business growth, and how can small businesses take advantage of some of these innovations?
Number one, operations are going to be streamlined. So right now, there's a lot of operational stuff from your everyday restaurant to your franchise that's based out of Metro Detroit. AI is going to help streamline a lot of those operations where you may have somebody that is really working overtime, maybe offset a lot of that work and focus on the growth of the business rather than getting stuck in the business. We're going to have the ability with AI to predict maintenance. So for manufacturing, the ability to know that maintenance needs to happen on some machinery ahead of time, AI is going to play a huge, huge role there. And you're also going to have customization. So right now, let's say you want to order a tumbler, right, and get it printed with your stuff. Right now, there might be minimum quantities with some of these manufacturers. Being able to customize the output, AI is going to play a significant role there. So maybe you can order 2 or 3 rather than having to order 24 at a time, because these customizations and the ability to perhaps print multiple things but not take up as much resources of the raw materials and run them in batches, that's going to be a huge enhancement here.
Well, there's going to be a lot of things to definitely keep an eye on in the coming months. And with Apple focusing on workforce development through free training, how can business owners and entrepreneurs best prepare themselves for a shift like this?
Oh, wow. Great question. So we definitely want to make sure that we are engaging in continuous learning, right? You don't want to get stagnant. Otherwise, you fall behind. And we've seen this in the past, but it's happening at a faster rate, right? Think about back when Apple launched one of their first phones, how long it took for the technology to shift to their second phone and how many changes. Now we're getting updates and changes faster than ever. So for us as business owners, we need to definitely invest our time, energy, and resources into continually learning so that we can continue to grow and stay up the pace. We also want to make sure we're investing in technology, right? There used to be a time where you would order a pizza and they just went off of a map on a wall, right? And now we've got GPS and we've got turn-by-turn directions. And ironically, the delivery time has actually extended. But we could probably get back to that 30 minutes or less by adopting these technologies. And then, of course, there's collaboration with educational institutions, right? If we can partner with different academies and universities, that's really going to ensure that the workforce aligns with the needs of the industry faster. So faster time getting folks ramped up with the education that they need.
Chad Ever is joining us right now, owner of Ever Studios, talking about Apple investing $500 billion that is going to be affecting Metro Detroit businesses. We are running short on time, Chad. I do have one more quick question before we let you go. Looking ahead, how do you see digital marketing, SEO, and AI shaping the future of business development right here in Michigan?
It's already happening. I can tell you that. As a SEO company, we have had to invest our time, energy, and put time into education with these new technologies, specifically around AI and automation. And I can tell you what we've implemented in our business to help other businesses show up better online. We've taken our regular 40-hour work week and cut it more than in half by adding automation. So for us, we can streamline, get faster to production, but also turn around results much, much quicker than we've ever been able to do before. So for us, huge. And then for the everyday business, I say take a stab at it, jump into it, but SEO is a huge, huge bundle. And so if that's something they don't want to do, they can always jump in with a company that can provide that service for them. And then they can focus on what they love, focus on their passion, and then not have to get stuck in the technology pieces. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it's not just for the business up front to invest that time. It's also for the businesses like me who provide services to them. They need to invest their time and energy, and the time is definitely right now.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Lots of things to look forward to and to be on the lookout for in the coming months. Chad, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thank you for having me. Great to see you again.
Big thank you to Chad for coming by and to talking about this really important topic. And as a reminder, you can check out that full interview as well as all of the interviews we've done recently on our website, civiccentertv.com, to have access to all of our interviews and all of our recent episodes that we've been having lately. But we've got plenty of other great stories and lots of other guests to get into right after this quick commercial break. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Hi, I'm Chris Fry, Park Superintendent of West Bloomfield Parks. Congratulations, Civic Center TV, on 1 million views on YouTube. Thank you for all you do in the community, and thank you for having me on The Splash throughout the season to talk about activities out in the parks. Chris Fry, proud to be 1 in a million.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host, Jake Sheff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. The Oakland Thrive Small Business Spotlight honors community and business leaders who support a thriving, inclusive, and vibrant economy. This fundraising event supports Oakland Thrive's work to support small businesses in Oakland County. And this event is going to be taking place on April 3rd, Thursday, April 3rd, for the entire Oakland County community. And here to tell us more about this exciting event, we have Oakland Thrive business consultant Jamar Bray joining us right now on The Splash. Jamar, happy to see you.
Happy to see you as well, Jake. How's everything?
Everything is great. Glad to have you with us and really interested in getting into this topic. So what is the primary mission of the Oakland Thrive Small Business Spotlight?
Yes, so this is a chance for a lot of our small business owners and also officials, all in the same room, and we can all network and fellowship. And also with a lot of our vendors there are also clients of Oakland Thrive who will also be selling their items as well. So it's a chance to also talk to them, listen to their story, see some awards for the community, but mainly there to understand the mission of Oakland Thrive and what we're here to do. And it's going to be a great time, man. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Sounds like a great time, and you guys should be very excited for this. It sounds like it's going to be great for so many of these small businesses all throughout Oakland County. And I want to ask, what criteria is used to select some of the honorees for something like this?
Yes, so just your work in the community and the things that the different areas that you're impacting, and what is your mission for the community. Just like Oakland Thrive, we are committed to helping small businesses throughout Oakland County. So we want to give those awards to those who are stand-up leaders in the community and those who are bringing communities together in their own special way. So, we're able to give out those awards. I can't give out who's winning an award right now, but I would say it's going to be a great time, and you'll be able to see those leaders that's in the community.
Awesome. I'm sure whoever's going to be getting these awards are going to be very, very excited. And I know you can't give us any information. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I wish I had one coming to me, but I'd take it. I'll even want getting out the awards.
Well, you can't tell us who's getting the awards this year, but can you give us maybe some examples of some past businesses and leaders who've been recognized for something like this?
Yes, Nancy Quarles, who's the former one of the county commissioners, she was a award winner last year. Laura Dodd, who's actually was a part of Oakland Thrive. She was a winner. So those are the type of criteria, those who are leaders of organizations or even in the past who've really been committed to seeing the thriving community in Oakland County. And many of our awardees are people who actually were a part of Oakland Thrive from the beginning and who believed in our vision. So we are constantly looking for people who are believe in our mission, who wants to partner, and you get recognized during this time.
That's absolutely everything you should be looking for. And it is, you see so many of these examples every single day. Now, this is a fundraising event. And how does the fundraising aspect of this event directly support Oakland Thrive's initiatives?
Yes, so this event is actually our fundraising event where we're able to actually, people can come in, donate if they can't attend, but also by purchasing a ticket, you'll actually be able to help us commit to the vision of helping small businesses, keeping costs low to no cost for an entrepreneur. And the only way to do that is having events like this where we can fundraise for the community and bring people together so they can actually see why their dollars are going to a great mission like ours. And, we're going to continue flourishing, but we have to continue to fundraise as well to, create more programming and more trainings and more workshops and more partnerships.
For those just joining us right now in the Splash, we have Oakland Thrive business consultant Jamar Bray joining us right now to talk about the upcoming Oakland Thrive Small Business Spotlight that's going to be taking place on Thursday, April 3rd from 5 to 8. Now, what steps is Oakland Thrive taking to ensure diversity and inclusion within the business community?
Yes, just by simply understanding where are our Puma areas, where we're actually able to go in and affect change. We know that, a lot of different things are out of our control, of course, but we want to make sure that the communities that are in our control, that we're actually giving them the resources and giving them a chance to create generational wealth. And that is what Oakland Thrive has always prided itself on. That is what I pride myself on with my clients, able to actually go in and give them the opportunity to change their lives, change their business, and change the trajectory of their business. So we're always going to be able to affect change in the areas that are needed. And right now, that is very much at our forefront, is being in those areas that we are needed, and we're just distributing those resources.
That's right, and I would imagine there would also be a huge meaning to impact or to promote a lot of small businesses throughout the community. Yes,
it's needed right now. I mean, if you can shop small, that's what we do. We want to be able to also, with this event, like I said, a lot of our vendors are our small business clients. So we actually are able to give them a chance to be in front of a new audience, a new target market, and also for them to actually be able to sell their stuff to, people who've never heard of them. So, this is an opportunity for everyone to come in and just fellowship and, like I said, enjoy this great time, great food, and of course, great drinks.
Sounds like a great night. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to it. A couple more questions for you, Jamar. And you just touched upon it a little bit in terms of shopping small, but what are some other ways that community members can support local businesses beyond attending this event?
Yes, by, looking out who's in your community. I know a lot of times, especially with myself, I just received a connection at Brody's, which is in West Bloomfield. So, that is great. So I know if I need business cards, that's where I'm going to go. If I need shirts made, that's where I'm going to go, because they are in the community and they've been in the community for over 20 years now. So for me, I'm always looking for, who's in the community that can, take care of a need that I have. So if I don't care if it's car parts, I don't care if it's food, you want to be able to support the people that almost are your neighbors. And you can see them on a daily basis. You can talk to the founder, you can talk to the CEO. And so when you shop small, you're actually putting money back in the community that you live in. And that is the mission that I live by. And I'm so excited to be able to do this on a daily, to be able to help people shop small and see the effectiveness of it.
You should be very happy of everything that you're doing for all of these businesses throughout Oakland County. One last question, Jamar. What future events or programs does Oakland Thrive have planned to continue supporting small businesses beyond this event?
Yes, so beyond this event, we have different workshops as far as IT, learning AI, learning different marketing. We just finished a great marketing cohort where we actually put business owners, local entrepreneurs, through a 6-week marketing cohort with Jordan Applewhite, who's one of our B2B providers. And that is how we're able to constantly give people the resources. It's about hosting events. And if you go to our website and you'll go to the workshops and events tab, you'll be able to see all of our future events, both virtually and in person.
All right, lots of great resources with Oakland Thrive and a great event to help promote these small businesses coming up very, very soon. Jamar, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you, Jake. And I got a ticket for you, so just let me know.
Awesome. I will be there. Can't wait to see it, and can't wait to see all of the happy faces on every single one of these small business owners. It's sure to be a very, very fun night. If you take a look outside, you will see that the spring season is coming very, very soon right here to West Bloomfield. The ice is starting to melt, which can be a good thing, but can also be a very dangerous thing, because there have been some incidents in the last couple of weeks where there have been some animals out on the ice that police and fire rescue have had to take care of. So there's definitely a lot of danger at play right now in terms of these ice, in terms of these lakes starting to melt and this ice starting to thaw. And here was some information on how to stay safe and how to navigate these melting ice ponds. We have Fire Sergeant with the West Bloomfield Fire Department, Blake Belsky, joining us right now on The Splash. Blake, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Really, really good, and really interested in getting into this conversation because spring is coming up very, very soon, and everywhere you look outside, there's not a lot of snow, and the ice is quickly starting to thaw. So what are some of the primary risks associated with melting ice during the spring season?
Yeah, let's not wait for that official spring start date. Weather-wise, we're in it. That ice is going to be few and far between here. And I cannot caution our residents strongly enough against trying to get out on any of that leftover ice for any kind of activities. It is just not strong enough to be reliable to hold any kind of ice craft, skates. It's just too dangerous, and you will very likely end up in that very, very cold water. We just don't want to risk it.
That's absolutely right. A lot of risk factors in play right now pertaining to this ice and a lot of reasons why you should not go on it. And how can individuals properly assess the thickness and the stability of the ice before stepping onto it and kind of testing it?
Well, there are tools available. The DNR has some really great resources as far as their recommended equipment, rulers, augers, whatever you need to do. But one of the points that they do make is that there is no reliable ice depth to assume that it's safe. There are too many factors, whether it's changes in temperature fluctuation or ice that's been covered in slush. Ice that has moving water underneath it is going to melt and be less stable. It's just, I don't want anyone to feel comfortable because an ice is a certain thickness that this is now safe. This is something that needs to be evaluated daily, and even as you move across the ice, to make sure that that ice, even 5 feet in front of you, is still safe as it had been where you were before.
Right, absolutely. Lots of things to look for with this ice. And of course, you don't want to think about it, but inevitably, and in some cases, somebody is going to fall through the ice. There are going to be accidents like this. What should someone do if they do happen to fall through thin ice?
So even before we go out onto the ice, we want to make sure that somebody knows where you are. If you're going to be out on Orchard Lake, tell friends, tell family, make sure you've got a phone with you so that you can so that you can call 911, whether it's a phone or a smartwatch with cellular service. We want to make sure that you can call for help if you need it. The next thing I need you to do, and water is going to be cold, it's going to be really hard to stay calm, but that is going to be vitally important. The more you thrash around, the more exhausted you're going to get. That cold water is going to sap your energy quicker than anything you've ever known. So we want to make sure that you have the ability to stay calm and conserve your energy, because you're going to be there for a minute before help gets to you. Once help is on the way, it's going to take us a minute as the fire department to put on our protective suits. We do have special cold water ice rescue suits that will protect our firefighters from the elements. But it's going to take us a minute to get those on, get out to you, and get you back to shore. So we need to make sure you're staying calm. We've heard in the past that people are worried that their clothing is actually going to cause them to sink in that water. Generally, that is not the case. Your clothing, particularly if it's big, bulky clothes that you're going to wear in the wintertime, that does a great job of trapping air and makes you more buoyant rather than causing you to sink. So you want to keep that clothing on. If you're near ice, odds are the ice where you came from is going to be the strongest ice. So if you are able to make your way backwards, backtrack from the area you came from, that will get you to the stronger ice that you can use to support you while you're waiting for help to arrive. Once we're out there, we're gonna throw essentially a pool noodle around you to help you float. We're going to have our special suits on to make sure we don't sink underneath you, and we're going to get you out and get you to that ambulance as quickly as we can.
That's absolutely right. Everything you can do to make sure that they get warm very, very quickly. Sergeant Blake Belsky with the West Bloomfield Fire Department is joining us right now on The Splash to help guide some of the residents through spring safety as this ice starts to melt all throughout Greater West Bloomfield. And Blake, just thinking in your head throughout Greater West Bloomfield, what might be some of the biggest hazard zones in terms of this quickly melting ice?
So now that we're so close to that spring deadline here, that ice is nearly gone on all of our surface lakes. But the lessons that we know from ice safety apply the same to that freezing cold water that we're left with even after that ice melts. So you want to make sure that you are bundled up. If you do end up in that water, we want to make sure that you are able to get out and get dry. If you are covered in cold water, the first thing you're going to want to do is try and strip that wet clothing off of you. If you're still out in the elements, that's actually going to cause you more harm than good. So we want you to get to shelter. Then we want you to get those wet clothes off, get something dry, and then we want to warm you up as quickly as we can. Whether that's getting you sitting next to a radiator, a nice warm fire. If the ambulance is there, we're going to start an IV. We're going to give you warm fluids. We're going to pack your armpits and your groin with those heat packs that you can buy at any drugstore. And then we're going to get you to the hospital, make sure that you are safe and healthy. What we don't want is to have anyone risk refreezing. So we're worried about frostbite. If we think that something's going to refreeze, we're going to let you stay cold a little bit until we can make sure that you're not being exposed to that cold water anymore.
All right, really important information. Blake, thank you so much for talking about this. One more quick question before we let you go. In terms of maybe preparing yourself for next year, when the ice comes back, if you're going to be out on the lakes, ice fishing and whatnot, what is some training and preparation? What should people undertake before engaging in some of these ice-related activities to make sure an accident like this does not occur?
That's great. And the best thing you can do is monitor those ice conditions. The folks that live on or near the water generally have a pretty good idea of the conditions on their lake and their backyard. If you're going to a lake that you're not familiar with, find someone who knows that ice well. That could be a bait shop where you're picking up your worms before you go ice fishing. It could be the DNR websites. There are plenty of resources that are monitoring the ice conditions on a daily, even an hourly basis. So find those resources, find the experts on the ice that you're visiting, and make sure that you have a good idea of what you're walking onto.
All right, really important information for everyone to know for the rest of this year and as the ice returns next year. Blake, thank you so much for joining us today on the Splash Live.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Very crucial information as we continue to see this ice melt all throughout Greater West Bloomfield and spring gets closer and closer to gracing us with its warmer weather. Girl Scout Day was recently celebrated, and a local troop is starting a very important project to benefit the entire community. Our very own Kevin McIntosh has the story.
Girl Scouts Day was recently recognized across the country, and here in West Bloomfield, Troop 77713 is marking the occasion by launching their Silver Award Recycling Project. These young leaders have been working hard to create a recycling hub here at West Bloomfield Middle School, with plans to expand it to the community later this spring. We'll take a closer look at their project, the inspiration behind it, and how they're making an impact one recycled item at a time.
Well, we first started because of our Silver Award, and I really cared about recycling because not a lot of people do it.
My inspiration was I was looking around the school and I saw that a lot of people would just throw away their paper, and I know that in school you need a lot of papers, so I decided that one of the ideas would be recycling.
The girls are seeking a Silver Award, the second highest honor in Girl Scouts. After receiving the Bronze Award for their merits, I asked Cadet Reagan Lease what the Silver Award means to her.
Silver Award means doing something big for the community that helps it a lot and is sustainable.
In order for this project to happen, it took the cooperation of their Troop 77713 leader, Kelly Hoffman, and West Bloomfield Middle School Assistant Principal, Cindy Carson, who told me about supporting the troop, their project, and collaboration.
It's just incredible. I've been leading these girls since kindergarten, and just to watch them grow and move forward and take on this project has just been inspiring. I've just been here guiding them, and they've really taken the lead and made it what it is today.
Well, one of our missions here is definitely to collaborate and communicate and be contributors to the greater community. So this is a perfect opportunity for these girls to put that into practice by working with the community to get the word out that paper recycling is important. Here we are in 2025. It's still a big deal. And believe it or not, since we've been in this building, we have not been recycling paper. So this is our third year being in the building, so we're super excited to finally bring this on board and make a difference.
With a project this important, there's a lot to manage. Cadets of Troop 77713 talk to us about what they learned during the process and what they hope others take away.
That you really have to get the whole community involved, and it really helps for anyone. For anyone to help, it really helps the community and us for the program.
I learned that there's a lot that goes into making something happen. Making a club, you need a lot of more other people than what you think you would.
I hope they take away that Girl Scouts can do anything and they can help the community as much as they can, and they are amazing.
Recently celebrating National Girl Scout Day, we asked this Greater West Bloomfield troop what being a Girl Scout means to them.
Being a Girl Scout means helping the environment as much as you can, being a sister to every Girl Scout, being kind, and being respectful.
It means that you try and help everyone you can. If you see someone that needs help, you help them, and you're just kind to everyone.
These Girl Scouts are making a difference in our Greater West Bloomfield community. Their Silver Award recycling project is just getting started, and with their passion and dedication, it's sure to leave an impact. From the West Bloomfield Middle School, I'm Kevin McIntosh, Civic Center TV.
Awesome to see some of the youngest members of our community making such a huge difference. Can't wait to see what's to come with this project in the coming months. But that's going to do it for us today here on The Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everyone on our team for going out and getting those stories. I've been your host, Jake Schaff. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.